My whole history, my personal history, my family history, and my organization history after 2005 is related with surveillance. We came to United Kingdom. I felt that I'm in a safe place, and I started to actively participate in education part and trying to talk about democratic institutions in Ethiopia. And I also continued to participate in politics in Gumbot 7. I felt that I am safe. Not only felt, I was almost certainly sure, but I was wrong. At a certain point, sometime in 2013, we started to find out that some of the things that we discussed among a small circle, we know each other very well, and we trust each other very, very strongly. And that trust is not built simply. It has been under strong danger because we started finding some of the elements that we have been discussing somewhere in open media and in unfriendly medias of the Ethiopian government. You don't want to suspect your friend, but you have to. It didn't come to my mind how another country, an Ethiopian government, can use UK telecommunication to spy on me. We got the answer from totally unexpected area. And a certain group of people which goes to Citizen Lab, and they published a report, and in that report, there was my photograph. That photograph was taken in London, and the Ethiopian government used it to attach with the spyware and distribute among the Ethiopian community. I just try to scan people who were arrested after my departure. And there have been many people who have been arrested. I had a friend in Saudi Arabia who returned back to Ethiopia and arrested and sentenced 18 years. And I started to question, probably it was because of me.
Finfisher is a piece of software that acts like a computer virus that allows the operator to target and invade the phone or the computer of anyone they wish. It has two effects. The first thing is that it can gain access to all the data that's on that phone or that computer. And the second thing is that it also acts as a live bugging device, which is willingly carried around by the owner of that computer or that phone.
Bahrain is a small country in the middle of the Gulf. There is dictatorship. There are more than 3,500 political prisoners. There have been many people who have been killed either through torture or shooting in the streets. Me and many others like me may not have decided to join the revolution or the people or to be anti-regime activists. But because of the situation, suddenly you have to make the choice, either to stand with the dictators or with the victims. And it is my natural inclination most of my life to side with the victims of either terrorism or dictatorship or state-sponsored violence. I stand by my people and will never accept oppression to be exercised so flagrantly on unarmed civilians. When I was told that my name and my computer had been infected by Finfisher, it makes you feel like a naked person, that suddenly nothing is private to you. The big brother is watching you from every corner. It makes you much more cautious about who you communicate with and what you say.
It's a kind of a combination of feelings. The first one is anger. In Ethiopia, to some extent, you tolerate it because you know that he's a lot of the game in that country. When I came in UK, there's a total liberation of that stress. I'm living in a free country, a safe country. But that safety was kind of when you have a certain hope and when it is smashed.
When the Arab Spring erupted, I was full of joy that at long last, in the Arab world, we are going to have an opening. The regime was furious about what was going on, and it thought, can we intercept their communications? Can we know more about who are the people on the ground, who are organizing the daily protests? They hoped that by intervening and interfering with the communications, they may be able to stop the logistics of the opposition.
Dissent is a really crucial part of the functioning of a healthy democracy, and we know from recent history that in the case of Bahrain, Finfisher was one of the government's tools that it used to stop the Arab Spring democracy revolution spreading. It made it really difficult for people to work. It stopped people communicating with each other. It broke down networks, and ultimately there wasn't a democratic revolution in Bahrain.
One of the advice that I give to myself and to my friends is that we should never give up. This can be also taken as a good opportunity to expose the region. Ethiopia is one of the poorest countries in the world. Internet users in Ethiopia are something like 1.2% of the population. It is the lowest in the world, but they spend millions of dollars for Finfisher, for spying people like me who are trying to bring a better future to Ethiopia.
What we're talking about is a globalized, almost entirely unregulated industry. So these are private companies that are manufacturing software that gives these incredibly intrusive powers to whoever wants to spend the money to buy them. Privacy isn't an absolute right. Lots of citizens would think, well, yes, there might be some circumstances in which this might be legitimate, but these tools are so invasive and so powerful that they must be used only in situations where there's a really robust system of oversight to ensure that they're only being used to support democracy and not to undermine it.
I think the British Authority could do much more while securing its own interests. To secure interest through appeasement of dictators as a rule is not a good thing.
The general public don't yet appreciate the likely impact that these kinds of tools are going to have on the development of democracy around the world.